The Filipino story of resilience, courage, and starting anew endures. It has been retold many times over. Here's part 2 of my up-close Goes to Bergenfield story. Yesterday, we traveled a whole continent away for an up-close and personal deep dive on Bergenfield's Mayor Arvin Amatorio and his coming to America story inspired us all. Today, we embark once again on the strides he's taken to turn his aspirations into a reality and beyond.
I think that it was absolutely amazing and groundbreaking when you took your oath as mayor 4 years ago. You know, this in global standards for me and also in the United States has, I would say, shaken the U.S. political landscape. Right. Everybody would love to know your story because you are a Filipino immigrant who became a mayor. What do you think this means to you professionally and personally?
Especially for our kababayans, you know, those the Filipino immigrants that are coming here, and to all those who come from other countries. I thought that it's a great story, you know, because it reflects that hard work, determination, and perseverance pays off. You know, you can be a newly minted immigrant in this country for as long as you believe in the American dream. And if you get involved, if you get engaged in the new community, this country is open for everyone. Also, I think that shows the resilience of the Filipino, that, you know, not just in the United States, we go to you know, the Filipinos are present in every part of the world, and we can always rise above everyone. You know, that's the spirit of resiliency and of the Filipino people.
Bergenfield, Mayor Arvin, has been called Little Manila of Bergen County. How would you think that the Filipino-American community in Bergenfield has thrived? I mean, you mentioned earlier the demographics are, I would say, majority would be an immigrant population, so it's very diverse. But I would imagine that there is also a big and thriving Filipino-American community in Bergenfield.
You know, we're called the Bergen County of, the Little Manila of Bergen County. We're proud of that. There's about, I would say, between 6,000 to 7,000 Filipinos living in Bergenfield. So it's like 23% of our population of 29,000. Mm-hmm. And, you know, we become a very important part of the community. We have the Filipino stores, we have restaurants, we have our own Filipino events in our town. And, you know, you'd love to walk along Washington Avenue, our main road, and greet kababayan. So it's a proud moment when for our kababayans when I became mayor, and I could feel that a lot of our fellow Filipinos are happy about it. And as a matter of fact, I made sure that I have allies in government. So I've convinced fellow Filipino Americans to run for council. So there are 2 Filipino Americans that are members of the council. I appointed the Filipinos in important boards and committees. So we claim the seat on the table. So, you know, I'm proud to say that, you know, in this conference room, there are 3 Filipinos running the town.
That is wonderful. And you have earned your place at the table, so to speak. What do you think, at the heart of it all, makes a Mayor Arvin mayoralty?
When I run for mayor, I run on 4 key agendas. You know, financial stability, economic development, infrastructure development, and I want to invest on sports and recreation because I want to invest it on the youth of our community. And proudly, I would say we were able to do that. So my administration has been one of the most aggressive in terms of infrastructure development, I would say, in the modern history of the town. During my first term, I repaved more than 200 roads, repaired sidewalks, built this new borough hall. You know, the old borough hall has been there for like 100 years. I built, renovated close to 20 parks. So, you know, we were at the height of infrastructure development, and proudly to say we never raised taxes, you know, for our community. So those are the things that we've done. But the most I would be proud of is the community has ever been more closer. We've had events bringing all the community together, you know, from different walks of life, different ethnicities. So I think a lot of people in Bergenfield are saying they've never seen the town like this. That's why, humbly, I would say, when I ran for second term, I was unopposed.
That is wonderful. Okay, so that was the rail right there, sights and sounds in a regular community like this. Yeah, well, that is amazing. That is amazing. And we can't wait to see what great and pivotal things that you'll do for Bergenfield all the way till, I would say, is it 2027?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
2027. Okay, now, this I think is the most crucial question. You know, we are talking about, you know, the American dream. A Filipino immigrant has become a mayor, a second termer in the United States. This is, I think, such a marvelous story to tell of inspiration and, as you mentioned earlier, resilience and courage. To all our kababayans listening across the world, and even those that are still trying to make ends meet back home in the Philippines, there are many right now struggling and thinking and on the cusp of wanting to start a brave new life somewhere else and staking their claim out there. What would be your top 3 words of advice for them?
I would say be courageous with your dreams. And I would say follow the law to your new community. And number 3 is get involved. That's very important. Because when you get involved, when, a lot of times when you are new to your community, the people around you will make an assumption of who you are. This is a person coming from this country, from the Philippines. So they'll make their own assumptions in their mind. But you have to give them the opportunity to know you. And you cannot do that if you don't get involved in the community. So now if they see that the Filipinos are friendly, are hardworking, are determined, and great people, you're not just carrying, your image or your reputation but as a person, but you are giving a service to the Filipino people, because they would say, the Filipinos are great people. I love them. We welcome them in our community.
Thank you so much, Mayor Arvin, for your words of wisdom and your insight. I wish Bergenfield more success in the future, and perhaps we may look forward to a 3rd time mayor run. But thank you so much for sharing your insight and wisdom with us. We are so grateful for your time and guesting with us and up close all across the miles in the United States.
Thank you also, Charms, and it's been an honor and a pleasure to have the conversation with you, and to all the kababayans, mabuhay po. Magandang gabi sa inyo lahat.
Thank you so much.
This is Charms Espina from the National TV Network for a new and better Philippines.